Hi everyone, I just turned 34 yesterday, and 33 was probably the most favorite year of my 30s. The reason why is because Christ, God, had a, had the biggest job in the world, but he got the job done in 33 years. And I was kind of in a place I'm thinking, can I get the most important thing in my life done by 33? Can I be a complete person by 33? Well, 33 is gone. And I am now at a place where I'm asking myself the very, very important questions in my life. And I'd like to share that journey with you. And if you can possibly sit down and begin to ask yourself these questions, you don't have to be 33. I've been asking myself, have I lived? Have I mattered? Have I made a difference in the world? And those are very, very big issues that we should all think about at whatever point of life we are in. And I remember a little story that a preacher once told us. And he said, a young lad whose father was an academic, a professor, once asked his dad, "Dad, you must be very intelligent. I want to know the day I will die." And the father must have been taken aback. Whoa, the day you will die? I don't know why the young lad wanted to know when he will die. Maybe because there are some things that he thought he should get done before he dies. But what the dad did, he took this little lad to a cemetery, and he began taking him to tombstones one by one, and he probably took him to a tombstone that said 1900 to 1970. Another one may have said 1940 to 1980. Another one still could have said 1938 to 1939. Another one probably said 1950 to 1950. And after their short trip, the dad told the young lad these words. He told him, "Son, you are old enough to die." Think about that. Given that reality that you are old enough to die, it makes you question your life. It makes you question your processes. It makes you question everything that you have ever done, your career, everything that you think, everything that you say, everything that you do. And these are things that we are all accountable for. So at some point in your life, you have to ask yourself, have I lived? Have I loved? Did I make a difference? If I died today, would people miss me? Would people say that we can fill the gap that he actually left? Not because they were just I was merely their relative or their friend, but do I have constructive application in their lives? Am I useful? Am I useful to the world? Am I useful to my society today? And those are very, very deep questions that all of us must ask ourselves. Another thing that I'm asking myself is, why have I done the things I have done in my life so far? I finished university 10 years ago, and I've been working for the last 10 years. I've been an adult for the last about 15 years. Why have I done the things I have done? Why have I made the choices I have done? Were they conscious choices? Were the choices made for me by society? Were they made for me by my friends or my relatives? And what are the outcomes? What is the consequence of the fact that I probably either did not make those choices? And how am I going to pay for it later in life? I'm also asking myself, have I laid the building blocks that will determine the rest of my life? here on earth as long as the Lord decides I'm going to remain on this earth? Have I already determined the entire part of my remaining life? Have I already decided how it's going to be? Is it too late to change anything? Okay? Why do I do the things I do? Why am I the person I am? What motivates me? What makes me? Why do I go to work? Why do I maintain the friends I maintain? Why do I talk the way I talk? Why do I do the things I do? Why do I practice the hobbies I practice? Why do I pursue this talent? Why do I keep on this career? Why do I stay in this neighborhood? All those things are very, very important. And if we do not know why we do things, then our lives become sort of a ship without a compass. You do not know where you're headed because you do not know where you're coming from, and you do not know whether if you go to the left you'll get lost or to the right, because really you are directionless. And that is how a life without a why is lived. Directionless. Any direction goes. If you go to this direction, it's not a bad direction. If you go to this direction, it's also not a bad direction. So our lives must be controlled by a purpose bigger than ourselves. It must be controlled by a mission that is larger than us. A contributory mission, something that when accomplished, then and you're gone, people can say, well, what a life that was. And that why is something that every one of us must have. Okay? And in thinking about that, I remember a story of a fisherman that was told to us some time back. There was a fisherman who lived by the lake, and every day he would go to the lake. He would get 3 fishes, and or 3 fish. Is it fish? Fishes. Fish. He would get 3 fish, and they would eat one for lunch, eat the other one for dinner, and he would sell one to buy cooking oil to fry the other 2 fish. And the neighbors or his friends must have gotten very concerned about the life that this man was leading. And they talked to some officials, some government officials, called themselves improvement officials, and they came and saw this man, and they told him, hey man, you only get 3 fish from the lake every day, and that's it. And he asked them the great question. He asked them, why should I get more? And they said, okay, well, let's paint a scenario. You get more fish, sell some in the market, diversify your menu. I was like, well, I like my menu. I'm okay the way I am. Why should I expand my menu? And they said, well, because it's good, it improves your life. And then he asked them, after I improve my menu, then what? And then they told him, you'll sell more fish, it means more money, and you'll expand your business. Then what? Then you will become the biggest fish supplier in the local market. Then what? Then you will begin expanding to the neighboring markets. Then what? You'll become the most important fishmonger or fish businessman in the entire region. Then what? You will buy a fleet of trucks and begin transporting your fish to other towns and other cities. Then what? Then you will become a very rich man. Then what? You will expand your business countrywide. Then what? You will have such a big business, you will employ so many people. Then what? Then you will probably take your company public and people will buy shares of your company. He continued to ask them, then what? And then after some time, after you've made a lot of money and you've worked in your company, maybe you're tired of working in your company, you will retire and get yourself a fine, quiet place by the lakeside where you can just rest and, and pass and look and watch the days pass passed by and he said, "Isn't that what I am doing?" And I'm sure they were taken aback. Okay. So the moral of that story is that we need to know why we do the things we do. Do not chase after money for the sake of chasing after the money. What do you want the money to do for you? What outcome are you trying to create with the money? And therefore, all our decision making must be guided by our why. Our inner gut can always be able to tell when our gut is crappy. Sometimes we give reasons why we do things, but within ourselves we know that those reasons are crappy. Those reasons are just flimsy. They're built on quicksand. And the thing is, you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot lie to God. Those two persons you can never lie to. You can never lie to yourself. If you are doing a career for the sake of doing it, remember that you're not just affecting your life. You're affecting the life of all the people who depend on you. Even more than that, you are affecting the lives of the people who may be helped by your genius if you decided to exploit, if you decided to go to the bottom of why you exist, why you have the gifts you have, why you have the talents that you have. And the reality of life is that some of the worst employees we can ever have is people who don't know why they are on that job. They can't give you a reason why they work that job. And lacking a reason why they do the things they do, people become directionless, stubborn, and basically people who can never be satisfied, people who do not have an end in mind. You can never please them because you can't know what pleases them, because they haven't defined exactly why they do the things they do, why they are where they are, and why they are who they are. And that is something very, very important. And if you look at the story of somebody like Nelson Mandela, his why was so strong that it didn't matter whether he was inside a prison or not. He continued living his purpose. And after 27 years of being in prison, he had lived his purpose so much that it was fully baked. He came out into the world and just conquered the world, conquered the minds of the lady of everyone. And up to this day, every child in every school knows about Nelson Mandela. You are the art, but more than that, you are the artists behind your own art. So you are the art and you are the artist. You can make yourself into whatever you want to be. You only need to take your life seriously. Call yourself to a meeting. Ask yourself, why do I do this? Put everything else second. Put all your friends second, all your family second, and ask yourself, why am I the person I am? Why do I do the things I do? Stay the course. Find your purpose. Live life. Don't drift through life. Mark Twain made a very, very timeless quote. And he said that the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. So I encourage you, as I go through the same journey of redefining or more finely defining who I am, why I exist, why I do the things I do, why I say the things I say, why I think the things I think, I'm encouraging you to do the same. It doesn't matter whether you're 15 years old, it doesn't matter whether you're 60 years old. You can call yourself to a meeting. Find your why. Find yourself. Find your purpose. If you can only define with surety and your gut tells you that, yes, this is the reason why you exist, this is your why, you will have found yourself, and nothing will stop you from achieving your purpose. You will become indomitable, unstoppable. I wish you good luck. My name is David Mwiga. Thank you very much.